The East Siberian Sea, a remote and icy expanse. It lies north of the Arctic Circle, shrouded in darkness for much of the year. This frozen wilderness is one of the harshest environments on Earth. Yet beneath the ice, a vibrant ecosystem thrives. It is a world of hidden depths and remarkable resilience. The East Siberian Sea is a place of stark beauty and unforgiving conditions. It is home to unique species adapted to this extreme environment. Polar bears roam the ice floes, hunting for seals. Whales migrate through its waters, searching for food. And beneath the surface, a rich tapestry of marine life exists. This sea is a vital part of the Arctic ecosystem. It plays a crucial role in regulating global climate patterns. It is also a region facing increasing threats from climate change and human activities. The melting ice, rising temperatures, and pollution are all taking their toll. Join us as we embark on a journey to the East Siberian Sea. We will explore its icy depths, uncover its hidden wonders, and examine the challenges it faces. This is a story of survival, adaptation, and the urgent need for conservation. The East Siberian Sea serves as a gateway to the high Arctic. It is a vast body of water bounded by the Siberian coastline to the south. To the west lies the Laptov Sea. To the east, the Chukchi Sea. Its northern boundary merges with the Arctic Ocean. This sea is relatively shallow, with an average depth of around 50 meters. The Siberian Shelf, a vast underwater plateau, extends far out from the coast. This shallowness influences the sea's characteristics. It affects everything from its ice formation to its marine life. The East Siberian Sea experiences long, harsh winters. Temperatures plummet well below freezing, and the sea freezes over completely. Summers are short and cool, with only a brief period of ice melt. These extreme conditions shape the lives of the creatures that call this sea home. The sea is also influenced by the inflow of fresh water from Siberian rivers. These rivers carry nutrients into the sea, supporting the growth of phytoplankton. Phytoplankton form the base of the food web, sustaining a diverse array of marine species. Despite its remoteness, the East Siberian Sea is not immune to the impacts of human activities. Climate change is perhaps the most significant threat facing this fragile ecosystem. The Arctic is warming at twice the rate of the rest of the planet. This warming is having profound effects on the East Siberian Sea. The most visible impact is the rapid decline in sea ice. The extent and thickness of sea ice have been decreasing dramatically in recent decades. This loss of ice has serious consequences for the marine ecosystem. It disrupts the hunting patterns of polar bears, who rely on sea ice to hunt seals. Melting permafrost, both on land and beneath the seabed, is another major concern. Permafrost is ground that has been frozen for at least 2 years. It contains vast amounts of organic carbon. As permafrost thaws, it releases this carbon into the atmosphere, accelerating climate change. Furthermore, melting permafrost is releasing methane, a potent greenhouse gas, into the sea. This methane can have a significant impact on the marine environment and contribute to further warming. The East Siberian Sea is facing unprecedented challenges that require urgent attention. The East Siberian Sea, a remote expanse in the Arctic Ocean. It is situated above the Arctic Circle, north of Russia. It stretches across 3,940,000 square kilometers, a testament to the vastness of the Arctic region. This sea, however, is relatively shallow, averaging only 58 meters in depth. The sea's boundaries are defined by land masses and imaginary lines drawn across the ocean. To the south lies the Siberian coast, its shores sculpted by the icy grip of winter. The western boundary is delineated by the Severnaya Zemlya archipelago. This chain of islands acts as a natural barrier, separating the East Siberian Sea from the Laptov Sea. Moving eastward, the sea stretches towards the new Siberian Islands. These islands, scattered like frozen jewels across the ocean, further demarcate the sea's eastern edge. Beyond them lies the Chukchi Sea, another remote expanse of the Arctic Ocean. Northward, the East Siberian Sea merges seamlessly with the Arctic Ocean. There are no distinct boundaries in this icy realm, only a gradual transition to the deeper waters of the Central Arctic Basin. The East Siberian Sea, despite its shallowness, plays a crucial role in the Arctic system. Section 2. The Siberian Shelf. A submerged plateau. Underlying the East Siberian Sea is the vast expanse of the Siberian Shelf. This submerged plateau, extending hundreds of kilometers from the Siberian coastline, significantly influences the sea's characteristics. The shelf's shallow depth contributes to the sea's relatively low volume and influences its response to temperature changes. The Siberian Shelf's origins can be traced back millions of years. During past ice ages, when sea levels were significantly lower, this region was exposed land. Rivers flowing across this landscape carved out valleys and deposited sediments. As the ice sheets melted and sea levels rose, these submerged landforms became the Siberian Shelf. The shallow waters of the shelf affect the sea's ice formation patterns. During winter, the shallow depths allow the sea to freeze rapidly. The ice cover, often several meters thick, acts as an insulating layer, trapping heat in the water below. This ice cover plays a crucial role in regulating the Arctic's climate and providing a habitat for ice-dependent species. The Siberian Shelf is also crisscrossed by submerged river valleys. These valleys, remnants of ancient rivers, channel fresh water from the Siberian interior into the sea. This freshwater inflow, laden with nutrients and sediments, influences the sea's salinity and supports a unique ecosystem adapted to these conditions. Section 3. Islands of the Frozen Sea. Scattered across the East Siberian Sea are several island groups, each with its unique character and ecological significance. These islands, remnants of ancient landmasses or formed by volcanic activity, provide vital habitats for a variety of Arctic species. They serve as breeding grounds, resting stops for migrating birds, and refuges from the harsh conditions of the open sea. The new Siberian Islands, located in the eastern part of the sea, are a testament to the power of geological forces. These islands, composed of volcanic rocks, sediments, and permafrost, harbor a surprising diversity of life. Despite the harsh conditions, plant life thrives in sheltered valleys, providing sustenance for reindeer and musk oxen. Further west, the Severnaya Zemlya archipelago stands as a frozen sentinel at the edge of the Kara Sea. This group of islands, perpetually locked in ice, is a testament to the extreme conditions of the high Arctic. Polar bears roam these islands, their white coats blending seamlessly with the snow and ice. These islands, though seemingly desolate, are vital components of the Arctic ecosystem. They provide breeding grounds for seabirds, their rocky cliffs echoing with the calls of kittiwakes and guillemots. The surrounding waters teem with life, supporting populations of seals, walruses, and whales. Section 4. The Rhythms of Ice. The East Siberian Sea is characterized by a dramatic seasonal cycle of ice formation and melt. This cycle dictates the lives of the creatures that inhabit this region. Understanding this icy rhythm is key to comprehending the delicate balance of life here. As winter descends, temperatures plummet, and darkness envelops the sea. The sea begins to freeze, transforming into a vast white expanse. Beneath the ice, life thrives. Algae cling to the underside, forming the base of a complex food web. Tiny crustaceans graze on these algae, sustaining fish and larger predators. The ice provides a platform for polar bears to hunt seals. Spring brings light and warmth, melting the ice. The ice breaks apart, creating a mosaic of open water and ice flows. This transition is a time of opportunity and peril. Melting ice exposes nutrient-rich waters, fueling a bloom of phytoplankton. However, melting ice disrupts the hunting grounds of ice-dependent species. As the ice retreats, bears travel greater distances or scavenge on land. The balance of the East Siberian Sea's ecosystem hinges on ice formation and melt. The East Siberian Sea, often locked beneath a thick carapace of ice, might appear devoid of life. However, beneath this frozen surface lies a surprisingly vibrant ecosystem. Adapted to extreme conditions, a diverse array of creatures thrives in its icy depths. From microscopic algae to marine mammals, life exhibits remarkable resilience. Microscopic algae, the primary producers, form the base of the food web. They photosynthesize even in low light, providing sustenance for zooplankton. Zooplankton graze on phytoplankton, forming a crucial link in the food chain. These creatures sustain larger animals, including fish, seabirds, and whales. The abundance of zooplankton reflects the productivity of its waters. Fish play a crucial role in the East Siberian Sea's ecosystem. Species like Arctic cod are well adapted to the cold waters. These fish become prey for larger predators like seals and polar bears. The seafloor supports a unique community adapted to darkness and cold. Sea stars and worms scavenge for food, recycling nutrients within the ecosystem. Life in the East Siberian Sea presents a constant struggle against the elements. Freezing temperatures and prolonged darkness demand extraordinary adaptations from the creatures that call this sea home. Evolution has sculpted remarkable survival strategies, enabling life to flourish here. Fish produce antifreeze proteins to prevent ice crystals in their blood. These proteins allow survival in freezing temperatures. Marine mammals have thick blubber for insulation and energy reserves. Their streamlined bodies and powerful flippers aid navigation. Polar bears rely on thick fur and large paws for insulation and traction. Seabirds have dense waterproof feathers and webbed feet for swimming. Many migrate vast distances, timing their arrival with summer food abundance. The East Siberian Sea, though seemingly static beneath its icy cover, is in constant motion. Driven by winds, tides, and fresh water from Siberian rivers, its waters circulate in complex patterns, influencing nutrients, ice, and marine life. Understanding these processes is crucial for comprehending this remote sea. Fresh water from Siberian rivers forms a surface layer, affecting ice and nutrients. Winds drive surface currents, creating the Siberian coastal current. This current transports nutrients and plankton, influencing marine life. Understanding these interactions is crucial for predicting future changes due to climate change. The East Siberian Sea supports iconic marine mammals like walruses, seals, and whales. Their presence highlights the importance of preserving this remote sea. The East Siberian Sea's ecosystem faces unprecedented challenges from climate change and human activities. Protecting it requires international cooperation and sustainable management. The Arctic is warming rapidly, causing sea ice to disappear. This loss threatens ice-dependent species and disrupts the entire ecosystem. Pollution, including persistent organic pollutants and potential oil spills, threatens the East Siberian Sea. Addressing these threats requires international cooperation and stricter regulations. Human activities introduce noise pollution, disrupting marine mammals' communication and navigation. This acoustic pollution has significant impacts on marine life. Climate change, pollution, and human activities cast a shadow over the future of Arctic wildlife. Urgent action is needed to protect these species and their habitats. The East Siberian Sea faces a tipping point due to climate change and human activities. Sustainable practices and international cooperation are crucial for its future. Protecting the East Siberian Sea requires sustainable practices and international cooperation. Establishing marine protected areas is crucial for conserving its biodiversity. The East Siberian Sea's fate is globally significant, requiring international collaboration. Strengthening the Arctic Council and sharing scientific knowledge are essential for effective conservation. Indigenous peoples have lived in harmony with the Arctic environment for millennia, developing a deep understanding of its rhythms and a profound respect for its resources. Their traditional knowledge, passed down through generations, holds invaluable insights into the ecology of the East Siberian Sea and can play a vital role in shaping effective conservation strategies. Empowering indigenous communities to participate in the management of the East Siberian Sea is essential for ensuring that conservation efforts are culturally appropriate, socially just, and ecologically sound. This includes recognizing indigenous land rights, respecting traditional hunting and fishing practices, and involving indigenous communities in decision-making processes that affect their livelihoods and cultural heritage. Supporting indigenous-led conservation initiatives is crucial for harnessing local knowledge and fostering a sense of stewardship for the East Siberian Sea. This includes providing funding for community-based monitoring programs, supporting the development of sustainable economic activities, and recognizing the role of indigenous-managed protected areas in conserving biodiversity. Integrating traditional knowledge with scientific research can lead to a more holistic understanding of the East Siberian Sea ecosystem. Collaborative research projects co-designed by scientists and indigenous communities can bridge the gap between different knowledge systems, leading to more effective conservation strategies and a greater appreciation for the interconnectedness of human and natural systems. The East Siberian Sea faces challenges, but holds promise for a healthy future. By prioritizing conservation and sustainability, we can ensure this vital region thrives. Imagine a future where the East Siberian Sea is a sanctuary for Arctic wildlife, its waters teeming with life, its icy expanse a testament to nature's resilience. A future where indigenous communities thrive, their cultures intertwined with the ecosystem's health. Lessons from the Arctic can inspire global climate action. We must act now to protect this global treasure. The East Siberian Sea, a realm of ice and silence, a place where the sun barely rises in winter and where the midnight sun paints the summer sky in hues of pink and gold. It is a place of stark beauty, a testament to the power of nature to thrive in the face of extremes. We have journeyed together to this remote corner of the world, exploring its icy depths, marveling at its unique wildlife, and confronting the challenges it faces. We have seen how the East Siberian Sea pulses with life, from the microscopic algae that form the base of the food web to the majestic polar bears that roam its icy expanse. We have learned how these creatures have adapted to the extreme conditions of this environment, their very existence a testament to the ingenuity of nature. The delicate balance of this ecosystem, honed over millennia, is now under threat from human activities. Climate change, the most pressing challenge of our time, is transforming the Arctic at an alarming rate. The East Siberian Sea, with its shrinking ice cover, thawing permafrost, and changing currents, is on the front lines of this global crisis. The consequences for the region's wildlife, from polar bears to walruses to seabirds, are dire. Yet amidst these challenges, there is hope. The growing awareness of the Arctic's plight, the increasing calls for action, and the commitment of individuals, communities, and nations to address climate change offer a glimmer of light in the gathering darkness. The East Siberian Sea, though geographically distant, is intimately connected to us all. Its fate is intertwined with the health of our planet and the well-being of future generations. The choices we make today as individuals, as communities, and as a global society will determine the legacy we leave behind in this fragile and irreplaceable region. It is our collective responsibility to safeguard the East Siberian Sea, to ensure that its icy waters continue to teem with life, and that its unique beauty continues to inspire awe for generations to come. This requires a fundamental shift in our relationship with the natural world, a recognition that we are not separate from nature but rather an integral part of its delicate web. We must reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, transitioning to cleaner sources of energy, and embracing sustainable practices in all aspects of our lives. We must support policies that protect the Arctic, promote international cooperation, and empower indigenous communities to be stewards of their ancestral lands. The future of the East Siberian Sea, and indeed the future of our planet, depends on our collective action. Let us choose a path of hope, a path of responsibility, and a path that leads to a healthy and vibrant Arctic for generations to come. The time to act is now, before the silence of the Arctic becomes the silence of our own making.